morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Just rolling to work on this Monday morning commute here in Okinawa. Had a pretty good weekend. Friday we had our Marine Corps ball. So that was 1 November, so that was a little bit early. And we've got another another birthday ball coming up this Friday. So we're catching a twofer. So in the unit that I work in, we go to the battalion level ball, and then we go to the MEPS command element level ball, usually the week after. But so yeah, double dipping, but that's okay. It's our last ball season. We'll get in these last 2 ball celebrations, celebrate the birthday of our Corps, and yeah, that's it. Probably get rid of some uniforms after that. I don't know. It's getting closer and closer to skill bridge time for us here on Okinawa. So I think I've got about 70-ish days of putting on my uniform left. And so that's drawing close. We've been selling a couple of things around the house, trying to get rid of some of the bigger things that are taking up space that get kind of hard to sell. Just got rid of a big Bowflex treadmill that we've had for a couple of years. It's pretty much in brand new shape. We only clocked about 40 workouts on it, according to the system on there. So yeah, got rid of that here recently. I think we need to get rid of a couch or two, at least one of the couches in our living room, and then maybe start at one of the back bedrooms and just start working our way forward and cleaning stuff out, getting rid of some clutter as a transition gets closer. Trying to minimize the amount of things that we move over to Thailand. But anyway, pretty good weekend. Had a Marine Corps birthday ball. Got all the Marines together. Had way too much tequila. And yeah, man, I tell you what, letting your hair down with the young Marines, that's like a 2-day recovery these days. That was Friday, it's Monday, and I still don't quite feel 100%. I had to put in a run yesterday thinking it would cleanse the soul and get all that that mess out of my system. Yeah, I'm gonna go for another run today at work. Yeah, get back at it. But yeah, we did that. Rebels had a big win against Arkansas yesterday. Like, those football games come on Sunday our time, and sometimes they come on at like 1 a.m. over here. So if you're PCS and out to Okinawa and you're a college football fan, or if you're coming out to Japan or this side of the world in general, yeah, those games might be on a lot earlier than you want to wake up. So I'm kind of a backslid fan these days. I just I opt to sleep in and then just catch the highlights if it's a super early one. The 07, 8:30 games, those don't really bother me that much, but yeah, 01, 05, yeah, probably not doing those on a Sunday morning. But anyway, two quick things I wanted to share with you guys as retirement approaches, and a little bit of this is more Marine Corps centric, but I think it kind of spreads and applies across all the branches. As you get ready to do your VA stuff and you're trying to get everything documented for all those VA sit downs, one key important of information that they might want you to have is your initial entry MEPS paperwork to show them, like a snapshot of that that earliest physical that you had upon entry into the military. And if you joined 20 plus years ago, like some of us have, that might not be in your hard copy records, and it also might not be in your electronic records when you pull them from the hospital or branch clinic or wherever you go. So what I had to do was get on my OMPF. That's what we call it in the Marine Corps. We get there on our Marine Online page, MOL. But the OMPF is your official military professional file, I believe is what the P stands for. But I had to get in there and find it under my contracts subfolder, and it was buried in there with all of my initial enlistment stuff from way back in the way back Wednesday in the late 90s. But yeah, that's one key thing that I wanted to share with you. And I tried to make this video the other day, but it was a torrential downpour that morning, and I was recording it just like this on the morning commute, and I think it was affecting the volume. It was super loud. Yeah, pretty intense downpour. Yeah, I'm trying to think what the other thing was I wanted to share with you. Oh yeah, hey, number 2, budgets. Make you a good budget sheet as retirement. Well, go ahead and pull out in front of me. There you go. All right, it happens here in Okinawa too. Anyway, make you a good budget sheet, and not just a budget sheet, right? As you're getting close to military retirement, make you a budget sheet that captures just your base pay. So whatever you expect your high 3 pension to be as you're getting, and I say high 3 because I feel like this is probably more geared towards folks that are getting out that did not opt into the blended retirement, the BRS. But anyway, so high 3 or your high 36, whatever you want to call it. Anyway, make you a budget that captures just that base level of what your income is going to be, and let that be your worst case scenario. Make sure you account for taxes. Make sure you account for anything that's going to be taken out of that. If you got some kind of insurance plan or whatnot, if you got a mortgage, if you got a car payment, sit down and really take a hard look at that thing and let that be your worst case scenario. And then I want you to make a second budget sheet, but I want you to add in 50% disability compensation rating. Because what happens at 50% is, that's when you get your concurrent pay, your military retirement pay, plus your disability compensation pay, whatever that may be, if you get any at all. 40 and below, or 50 and below 50, it just that's transferred into like or it's converted into, that much money would just be non-taxable out of your retirement income, if that makes sense. But yeah, at 50 is when you get 2 paychecks. So one for your VA disability, one for your high 3 pension. Make you a third budget sheet that looks at a little bit of a higher rating. Maybe you call it 60%. Maybe you call it 70. If you're looking at 50%, that's roughly $1,000. I'll have dependents, so yeah, 900 and change to $1,000. There's a good app that breaks all this stuff down for you. I'll throw that up on the screen. I think it's just called Military Retire. It's got a little red, white, and blue umbrella on it. I think it's an umbrella, but pretty good app. And other retirement focused channels talk about that application, and I think it's great. Probably costs $3 or $4 to download, whether you're on iOS or Android, but worth scooping that bad boy up. You can plug in all kinds of calculations. You can plug in your high 3. You can plug in your disability rating. You can plug in VGLI, SBP, plug in whatever TRICARE form of healthcare you're going to have, and it gives you a pretty good number, and it even puts you right in the right tax bracket to show what federal taxes wise is going to come out of your pension paycheck. Yeah, so that's that. Make you one more budget sheet that gives you your I guess your best case scenario. Maybe that's 80, 90, 100% disability. If you think that's something that you rate, and yeah, so that way you've got 3 or 4 good budget sheets to look at, and that'll cover the whole spectrum of just your most basic retirement pay all the way up to having a high disability rating. Yeah, and that's it. That's really all I wanted to share with you, and I'm going to get on into work, and I haven't made a video in quite some time, so my apologies, but I'll quit rambling and get out of here. Had a really awesome weekend. It was good for football. It was good for the Marine Corps birthday ball. Probably do it again next weekend, although I think Ole Miss has a little bit more stiff competition. I think it's Georgia they have coming up this weekend, so that'll be a test faux show. And I'm about to hit a little bit of traffic as we get closer to base here. But we'll get out of y'all's hair and catch y'all on the next one. Take her easy. Bye.